Donald Trump is succeeding, and all of these cases are going to come back to bite Democrats in the you know what. And I think everybody knows it. This is what, nobody's really talking about. You're starting to hear it a little bit on CNN. They are, of course, sounding the panic alarm on MSNBC. But we have another soundbite from Fareed Zakaria that I want to show you. Again, Fareed being that CNN host that comes on once on the weekend and just is really like watching paint dry. It's very milquetoast, and it's very pompous, and it's very annoying. And even the accent and everything, it's just mightier than thou, right? But occasionally you get glimmers of intelligence. And here was a brief moment where he said something kind of interesting. He's sounding the alarm, so to speak. Let's go to clip 2 of Fareed Zakaria.
Trump is now leading in almost all the swing states, but behind those numbers lie even more troubling details. As someone worried about the prospects of a second Trump term, I think it's best to be honest about reality. I understand that polls are not always accurate, but in general, they have tended to underestimate Donald Trump's support, not overestimate it. I doubt that there are many shy Biden voters in the country. The economy has been in a robust recovery for more than 2 years now, with unemployment hitting a 54-year low in 2023 and increasing only slightly since then. But Biden is getting little credit for it. The shift here is stark. On the question of who voters trust more to deal with the economy, Trump has a 22-point lead over Biden, according to an NBC poll from January. This marks a 15-point bump for Trump compared to the same poll in 2020. Perhaps this is because inflation is a far more pervasive problem than unemployment, affecting all Americans every day. Perhaps it's because people's views on the economy now are largely derived from their broader attitudes towards the candidates. But whatever the reasons, it's a stunning reversal in the midst of a relentless stream of good economic news.
Okay, I want to jump in right there. So what's fascinating to me is that this is echoing what we've heard on MSNBC and a few other places. In other words, it's you, not me. They're trying to gaslight you. They're trying to make you think the economy's just fine. The economy's just great. So what are you so upset about? Hey, aren't you okay with 175,000 jobs being added last month? By the way, you need like 300,000 to 400,000 just to keep pace with the population growth. So 175 is not very good. And by the way, it's a lot less than anybody thought we were going to get. So bad bomb of a number there last month, Joey. You get consumer sentiment from the University of Michigan coming in at levels that we haven't seen since 2021. So Fareed's probably going to tell you, oh, that's you. That's all in your head. That's what I heard MSNBC saying the other day too. No, it's all in your head. It's not in your head. The reason why people feel really lousy about things right now is because you know what? They don't have as much money. Okay, the economy may be growing 1.6%, nothing to write home about, thank you very much. But they don't feel very good about anything because you know what? Wages are not growing at the same kind of pace, which means when you look at things from an apples to apples basis, when you look at real wages versus inflation, people don't have much. People can't afford much. And this hits everyone, by the way. I mean, it hits the middle class and the poor the hardest, but everyone sees it. Everyone sees this. I mean, you try and book a trip for the summer. Good luck. I'm like, okay, at least my dollar is sort of strong if I go overseas. I'm going back to Ireland again. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, at least the dollar is like doing okay. But wow. I mean, look at plane fares. It makes sense when transportation costs are up 40%, that yes, plane fares are up, but they're more than 40% more than they were just a year ago. Because you know what? It's cumulative. It goes up and then it goes up and then it goes up. So when I have to say, oh, remember when we went here in 2019? Remember when we went here in 2018? It's like the good old days before Joe Biden came into office. And so people are reminiscing about that. And that's why Donald Trump looks like he is a very sure path to victory, increasingly so. Anything can happen. I don't believe in counting your chickens before they hatch, so to speak. But if you look at the numbers, he's got a really good shot. The question is, what might they do to get in the way? I mean, you have to, I mean, like, let's be honest with each other, right? I mean, this is why I'm glad that Lara Trump is now at the RNC. I think she's having a very honest dialogue and conversation about this with people. She has signed up 100,000 poll workers. All of this is good.